Los Angeles Moringa in the house. And let me know if you have any questions. Nice. All right, I can hear myself here on YouTube. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring you I'm gonna bring you into the Zoom link now. I'm gonna send it to you through Mighty Networks. Copy invite link. And let's go ahead and bring Joseph from Los Angeles here into the show. Let me go ahead and go into Mighty Networks, our members area. I'm sending Joseph the link here. There we go. Go ahead and come into the meeting here. And then we'll be able to have a nice little gallery. You meet up with Joseph. Today, we wanted to showcase one of our members' stories and testimonials. We want to hear a little bit about Joseph's story and how he got started in Los Angeles. He's been with us for a few years. So he's just coming in now. Take 1 second here. All right, Joseph is in. Nice. All right, Joseph, we can see you. Go ahead and see if you can unmute yourself. Looking good, looking real good. Go ahead and unmute yourself so we can hear you. Real good.
Oh, hello.
Go ahead and unmute yourself so we can hear you. Nice. And go ahead and mute if you can, possibly the YouTube channel. Nice. And go ahead and mute if you can, possibly the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Right, cool. He's in now. Great. Hamet is here. Thanks, Hamet from Nepal's in the house. We've also got Christina, and we can see you very well on TikTok. Hopefully everybody here can see us and hear us well on TikTok as well. Let us know on the TikTok if you guys can hear us and see us well. Great, so we're back. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me here.
Wonderful. I'm just going to do a quick little review of our show today. I want to tell people that today is really our sole deep dive into the purpose of Moringa and building community. And I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday Moringa Podcast show. This is a heart-centered side of growing Moringa that we want to share people's individual stories and how they started their Moringa business. This whole day and podcast episode is going to be inspired by the abundance of nature and have an insight into the miraculous benefits of Moringa. We want to hear Joseph's story, a little bit of how he heard of us, when he got started, and a little bit of behind the scenes of what's been going on with him. And then we'll share some of his photos along the way, the journey, because he's an active member inside of the collective members area. He's also a teacher. So you can meet up with Joseph on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time to also hang out and get some guidance from him, because now he is a testimonial of the entrepreneurial spirit, because he's not giving up. He's been doing this for years now. And we'll talk a little bit more about the sacred history of the Moringa tree and have a really great conversation with Joseph. So thanks a lot for joining us today. It's been great. It's been great getting to know you over the last few years. I feel like really connected with you. We spent a lot of time in the members area on Mighty Networks, and it evolved into you essentially becoming a teacher on Friday nights. So let me see here. I want to be able to see if I can hear you on Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you good.
Okay.
So let us know a little bit about yourself and where you come from, and a little bit of background about you, and then go into some of your most recent wins that we've seen in the members area.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, and I am married. I have a 12-year-old daughter with special needs. I take care of her. That's my job, 24 hours a day. Uh, and well, I had back in, I think it was in 2021, I had a little bit of a health scare. I had a gallbladder eruption that needed to get taken care of as soon as possible. So I rushed to the emergency and they took it out. Um, and I just, had a really health scare, and I decided to look up literally like on Google, like what's the most nutritious plant or tree out there. And one of the first things on the list was moringa. And I was like, what is this moringa about? So I started researching it and everything. And I went on YouTube, and then you were like the first video that popped up, the Grow Moringa Collective. And so I started listening to you, and then I really liked the way you presented yourself and the way you educated people through YouTube. And I felt a connection with you, even though I didn't know you yet. And so I decided to join the collective. I clicked on the link, and then I met you
Well,
online
yeah, we were talking in WhatsApp for a little while beforehand. You
beforehand.
messaged me on
Yeah,
WhatsApp. I remember you were sending me some photos and telling me a little bit about your story.
yeah,
And we got you into the members area,
yeah.
and you've been chugging along and kicking away ever since. It's been about 2 years or so, huh?
Yeah, it's been 2 years. I bought seeds the first time, and I had my successes and my failures. I had uh, where I planted some outside, and now it's like we're like 4 years now, 5 years,
Wow.
and I've got trees now. I got like 5 trees. I've bought trees from members in our collective. That's what's so
Right.
great about our collective, is that it's not only about us, it's about everybody, and then how everybody could help each other out. I got like, well, I don't know how many trees, like 10 trees at a discount, bare root, like 1 year, 2 year olds. I planted them right away in my backyard, and they sprouted like in 2 weeks. Uh, and now here I am, um, trying to network with nurseries in Los Angeles, and I made my first sale of three bare root 2 year old trees.
What?
Yeah, and I shared pictures right here in the chat.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
just
going
texted
back
me.
into your photos now. I'm gonna go ahead and share screen so that way others can see kind of like your progress
Yeah,
and how you started. I'm gonna start with your picture of the trees in the pots, in those big cloth pots.
yes,
And then because you have several images and photos from even before then, but this is really what popped off just a couple months ago. It started really clicking, and now you're really hitting the ground running now.
yeah,
So here it is, only 2 months ago, Joseph is sharing his new sprouts, and he had already been growing for 2 years, moved his trees, potted them up, putting them in new locations, getting wood on them, creating a garden for them, to where then he got to the point where he put up this little greenhouse and was able to start sprouting over winter. Essentially, it was still cold over there in Los Angeles. And went ahead and shared this photo. And this is the key thing with being able to grow as a person, as a grower, as a community member, is sharing your story. And I really commend you, Joseph, for just always being in the members area and sharing posts, pictures, commenting. Now at this point, becoming a teacher, you've been a teacher for about 4 or 5 months now.
yes,
Every Friday night, you're there consistently. People love hanging out with you on Friday nights. People are always telling me, I can't wait for Joseph's class. And so from this, you are sharing images and photos and talking about how you cut your trees back for the first time in this intensive pot. How
yes.
many seeds did you plant in this pot?
I planted like a good 700 to 1,000.
What?
The whole
You planted like a whole 1,000
this
seeds
whole
in this
bag. I got,
pot?
and I could show the audience
Yes.
an example of the bag that I
Let's
put
see.
into
Let's
that
see.
right here. This is like a
Yep.
1,000 seeds right here, PKM1, high quality, and I got them straight from the Moringa Collective here at a discount. That's one of the privileges of being a member, is not only community, but also you get big time discounts.
That's right. Wholesale prices, 50% off for members when you buy in bulk.
Oh yes.
And it's a great privilege. Even becoming a teacher, we can put those proceeds that you earned for being a teacher, the compensation, and you can opt in for receiving wholesale. So you can essentially double your income by receiving wholesale. And you've opted in on that sometimes
Yeah.
to go ahead and get those seeds and get started. Because I gave you that option. I was like, hey, would you like cash or do you want to get paid in wholesale? And you were like, send me those seeds, send me that biostimulant. And then we did that over the winter where I sent you several weeks worth of payment. And then you just started loading up on seeds, and that helped you to get this essentially started without no money from your pocket. So
Right. Right.
that's really the key is when you come into the community to be able to make your money back, learn this information and become a teacher. We're looking for more teachers. We have more days and more times that we're in need of teachers. And so if you get to a point where you're comfortable, like Joseph and many others, to hop on a live in the members area, then you can just become a resource for them. And even Joseph was like, I'm not sure if I'm ready. And I'm like, I think you're ready. Believe me, trust me. I feel like you've been there enough and you're not going to be ready and literally until the moment you start to do it. And now look at you. You're really comfortable. You're here with me on this podcast show. So thanks a lot for
Oh
just
yeah.
coming in here and sharing your story.
Yeah, and I just got a text message from the same nursery where I made the sale yesterday. They want more trees now, so I'm gonna more like 3 or 4 more trees, bare root, and
Oh, so you sold them bare root.
I sold them bare root. I
Wow.
asked them if they wanted it in pots, and they said no, just give it to us in bare root.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing because even a nursery taking bare root, this is something that I've been wanting to
Yeah.
get going is this bare root thing because I noticed that over the years of growing now, I've been growing moringa commercially as a business for about 8 years or so.
Uh,
And my first couple years, I struggled uh, caring for the trees, watering for the trees. The leaves are always yellowing. But then something clicked where I hit a level in my nursery, in my plant nursery, where the trees were just getting big enough to where I realized that because of the yellowing of the leaves is an issue. I was sending a lot of leaves, a lot of trees with leaves on them, but then people would get the trees and they would say, my leaves are yellow. I want a refund. And so, as a way to kind of really address the whole refund situation, I started sending trees with no leaves. So that way it was like, wait, I'm getting a moringa tree. And then I started sending not in a pot, but bare root. So then the customers are already now like, whoa, I have a tree. It's bare root. There's no leaves on it. This is helping them to realize, oh, okay, he already cut it back. That means that I can cut it back. It doesn't have any leaves on it. So that must mean like he used the leaves. So what I figured was instead of sending them a tree that the leaves would yellow, why don't I harvest the leaves, dry the leaves, utilize the leaves in our product and then ship them the tree. So I'm also getting weight and material from the tree to make tea. Then I'm sending a tree that people are automatically they're not able to say my leaves are yellowing. So that cut that off right there. Then it was like my tree is dead. It's already looks like it's a stick. So they're like, well, I just have to put it in the ground and get it started. Plus, I put a lot of information in the box. So it just really helps our customers to click like, oh, wow, this is a resilient tree. It's already cut back. Then within a week or 2 weeks, their tree starts bushing out again with all new leaves. And they're kind of like starting to already get this and connect with the fact that moringa is going to constantly come back and come back over time.
yes, and that is a good strategy and a good way to so they could get used to the moringa because the moringa is very vigorous. I that intensive container right there. I did a lot of transplanting, of course, and I put some in individual pots, and I put others in as a group, right? And what I'm doing now is that I'm cutting some of them back, not taking out the root, but I'm waiting for new growth to come out
Right,
because the root's still there, it's still growing, and because moringa's so uh vigorous, it could grow new stems from those roots that are still
right.
on the ground in the soil.
I
And
love how you did this here. You actually, you've been talking about, hey, I got a cup, I
uh,
got a piece of paper, I'm wrapping the cup with my QR code,
yeah,
getting your nursery with an image. So you're experimenting with how to market and advertise to have these trees for sale. You got a little fork in there. So it's a real like startup operation. Your boots on the ground, just really figuring this out now in your second, third year of growing. And now you just sold your first set of trees to a commercial business. They bought wholesale from you. They bought two. Next time they might buy 20. Next time they might buy 100. If you give them a deal. And you've just got to get now the trees that you've got going big enough to where they have root tubers. Here you are, just drilling holes in the bottom. See, the only reason why we know how well you're doing is because you're actually every day you're posting a picture in here. This is what we need everybody to do.
yeah,
We have new members coming in and they're like DMing me saying, yo, it's been 3, 4 weeks and I'm not getting any value. It's like, well, because you haven't posted anything. We haven't seen, you haven't asked anything. You haven't like participated at all. You only can get the the benefit of being a member if you let us know what's going on. So that way we can comment on it, we can critique it.
yes,
And all along the way, you're asking questions and you're like, hey, do I use peat moss? Or what kind of soil do I use? So it looks like you've got a really nice soil here, less peat moss, more of a sandy base, but it's real nice and dark and light and fluffy.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you've gotten soil and making soil.
Well, I think, with the collective, with the networking that I've been doing, especially with Lisa from Oklahoma, she has a really strong farming background. So she was giving me some tips and advice
Nice.
about soil. And she said, you should try to get some azomite. You should get some perlite, um, you know, get some stuff that's gonna uh fertilize your soil and give it those
Yeah, and
nutrients for the
aerated. What's
NPK.
azomite?
Azomite is basically volcanic, I guess, dust or sediment.
That's
And
perlite. That's perlite.
oh yes, this one is another one though from Utah.
Yes,
They they mine it from Utah, and
that's right.
basically it has all the trace minerals.
Hmm.
And I bought like two of them, and basically I sprinkle it around the bleed of the pot or
Yeah.
around the base.
Exactly. I like how you're not putting it right on the root, you're putting it around the edge because
Yeah,
that helps the root stretch to reach those minerals. If you just put everything right on the base, then it never really grows because it's comfortable and it's like, hey, I don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to be fed right here. So I'm just going
yeah,
to lay in bed and I'm going to get spoon fed everything and I don't have to grow and get big. But
right.
if you're putting the minerals around the edge of the pot, that gets the roots to stretch to the edge of the pot. That's a good way to do it.
Yes. So right now, I got these peat pellets. I got about maybe around 200 or 250, and I got seeds in every one of them. And the reason why I got these
Oh,
peat,
the pea pellets. Yeah, let me share that so, to show people what you're talking about because that's been your most recent endeavor is went ahead and went to the peat pellet most recently. Look, he's putting powder down. He's putting moringa powder down as fertilizer, mixing that in.
mhm,
Real green stuff there. Now you say your first batch where you're harvesting microgreens.
yes,
Now that can be put into a thing and a package and also, oh, then he's like, I got my first customer came over
yeah,
and bought some trees from me. Like this is
yeah,
happening so fast for you now. It's blowing up. And
Yes.
oh my gosh, I just got my first customer. Here it is, only 3, 4 weeks ago. Now you're in stores.
Right. Yeah.
But because within 3, 4 weeks, those trees, like the one that that guy bought,
Uh,
that small, within 3 weeks, boom, blew up into having something like this, where now you've got 1,000 seeds
yeah.
sprouted in one pot. Now you're able to put 5 or 10 of those trees into a pot. Then
Right.
you let that go. You were asking me, do you pull some out? Do you just keep it like that? And I was like, just if you've got 10 pots like this, then leave like 2 or 3 alone. Then cut back 2 or 3. Then transplant 2 or 3 of those pots out to make 20 separate pots where they're individual and experiment with
Yeah.
that process. And then let's see here's your peat pellet.
Yeah.
So he's starting to grow in peat pellets. Peat pellets can work in different places. I went ahead and discontinued using peat pellets myself just because I'm in a very fungal, wet, uh, like area here in Plant City. They worked well for me when I was in a more drier zone in Tampa, but then when
Uh,
I moved here, I wasn't having really good success with peat over the summer in the
right.
pellets. But you may find that it does well for you in the desert area
Yeah,
in Los
definitely.
Angeles. And as long as you
And
keep them moisturized, there's not a lot of food in there, so
mm,
having a liquid feed is going to really benefit using the pellets.
yeah.
But look at these red stems, man. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's hardcore. And I see,
Yes.
you put multiple seeds in there. This is going to help strengthen your resiliency in case you have loss, in case you have a dry spell and lose a couple trees. We're
Right.
trying to teach people to stock up. If you're just got 1 or 2 or 5 and you're trying to get your business going, you need to go to 100, 1,000, 10,000 sprouts. So that
Yeah.
way you end up having the ability to sell 100, and have a couple left over for next year, and then just
Yes.
keep that going.
Yes, definitely.
And this is Ron. One of our members is starting to dehydrate his, and you commented on this as well.
Mhm.
This is kind of like your activity. I went ahead and went to the members area, and then I just clicked your activity, and these are all the things that you're starting to do, comment on. So you're really active in there. People are really starting to look at you as a resource and expert in the area.
Mhm.
And you're on the map as well. I'm actually going to go real quick
Mhm.
to the map so that way people can see where you're at and how they can reach out to you on
Yeah.
our Moringa map here. If we go into the Los Angeles area here, you can reach out to Joseph directly.
Mhm.
He's actually in this area here, Moringa Destiny.
Mhm.
You can potentially reach out to him on Instagram.
Mhm.
He's got his link here. What's your coupon code?
Lamb 10.
Lamb 10, that's right. LAM 10.
Yes.
So if you go to our shop right now, Joseph's in the process of setting up his website, his shop. But one of
Mhm.
the ways that you can support Joseph and purchase from the collective is go to growmoringa.shop and then check out using Lamb 10. Here it is right here, Lamb 10
Lamb
for
10.
10% off seeds, trees. And then you can even reach out to him directly on his social media on TikTok,
Yes.
Moringa Destiny,
Mhm.
Instagram, Moringa Destiny. You can reach out to Joseph directly
Mhm.
and make a purchase with him. He's trying to sell and figure out how to sell online as well and make transactions online. This is his first time how to process revenue online and possibly meet up with somebody at the Walmart parking lot and trade up some trees or something. So he's
Yeah.
out here in LA. And one of the things that I want to do, Joseph, is
Yes.
drive out there and meet up with you and have
Yes.
another session with you and actually meet up in person.
Yeah, and I'm starting this nursery, I just got my seller's license, my nursery license, and uh, I'm just so like amazed at how everything is just like picking up so fast right now. It's like,
You
wow.
did it though. It's the time of year. Like you say it's fast, but you've been putting in this work for 2 years. Remember
Yeah.
how like I wouldn't say frustrated, but just like I mean, I remember we were in meetings every single night and you started in your kitchen and you were sprouting in cups and you had, you know, 10, 20, 30 cups over wintertime in your kitchen, and you're like, hey, like, they were growing lanky and they were
Yeah.
tall. I'm gonna see if I can even go back to the members area here and just start to see if I can find some of your first pictures. Like,
Yeah.
you say it's going fast, but you have been on it every single day, dedicated to this
Yeah.
for over 2 years now, 2, 3 years since we connected.
Yeah. I
Um,
have.
where
I
do
have
you want to,
stuff right here.
where do you see yourself in a year from now? What do you want to do
In a year,
a
I see
year?
myself selling selling a lot of moringa, whether it's trees, seeds, um, seedlings like this right here. Um, doing doing a lot of online stuff, like you said. I see myself and my nursery, my startup nursery, to be more established and have visitors come more often and just be on Yelp, websites like that, have
Sure. Maybe
trying to
even
get
do
that rating.
some like classes, maybe offer like a class where you could do like a coaching class or a teaching class, like a 1 hour class on a Saturday. That's kind of like how I got started. And I would make a Facebook event. And I would even put the event at like a friend's house. Like I didn't have my own place. I was kind of floating between apartments, and I was homeless for a little while. I had a store, and I was like setting events up at people's places. And you could even approach that nursery and say, hey, can I do an event here to where I could bring maybe 10 or 20 people over in the morning on a Saturday if they're open? And that nursery would love to host because that's going to bring them business. And you could possibly begin to outreach through the community through that nursery, or you could have it at your place. Um, but I see you really taking this far, being a central hub for the West Coast, Los Angeles.
Yes.
In particular, you have a huge opportunity with millions and millions of people. And I'm just like going back in your story here. Like this is like you got like your first tubers.
Yeah.
Here we are 8 months ago,
Yeah.
and you're like, I got my first tubers.
Yes.
Um, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got my first flower
Um,
popping out. And you're like, what is this? What's going on with my leaves? And so you're addressing, say, like a fungal issue or a watering issue, or you're starting to like say, oh my gosh, I got my first real branch
yeah.
coming out, and you're like measuring it. Look at this, look at this. Look, this is guy Surrey from Australia. And he's commenting, he's like, it's so big, I wonder if it's organic. Of course, there's no need to do all that. So you also sharing your story on TikTok,
Yes.
Instagram in here, letting people follow you. You're like hitting me up the other day. You're like, yo, I've got like 30,000 subscribers on TikTok. Let's do a show.
Let's do a show. Yeah.
So I was like, heck yeah, let's get on YouTube. Let's do a little show. This is kind of something that I'm starting to do.
Uh-huh.
Tuesdays is kind of like my business coaching show.
Yeah.
Thursdays is kind of like our community members featured podcast show. So thanks a lot for hopping on Thursday. And
Hmm.
then Saturday is kind of like our review of the week, updates, news, and giveaways and games and funds podcast. So I'm doing like a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday show now,
Nice.
really hitting it hard this season. And you're like, hey, what do I cut this root off here to inspire more roots to shoot
Yeah.
down so that way you don't have lateral roots?
Right.
So you're asking, and we're all getting back to you here. Either way works well. You could keep them. They'll be considered runners traveling along the topsoil, but to inspire a deeper taproot to form, you could trim them, and the taproot will go deeper, ensuring that you have more stability, access to tapping into deeper water, moisture, keeping it cool, especially if it's getting hot. If you've got a bunch of runners at the surface and it's really hot and dry, that tree might go into more stress. But if you like cut those off, like you were asking, you might inspire the taproot to go a little bit further down.
Yeah.
This was when you were really starting to get your first um, this was like coming in almost a year ago. About this time last year,
Yeah.
you've got the trees coming up, wood. You've already cut it back tremendously, and and
Yes.
and you saw proof of that cutback. People ask me all the time, like, no, do I cut it back? And we're
Yes.
like, yes. If you cut it back, you're going to get multiple branches.
And that's the one I sold
That's the one you sold.
to the
Wow.
nursery. Yeah.
To the nursery.
To the nursery. Yeah.
Great. And so this is how you got them going. I'm trying to get back to like even when you were in the kitchen and,
Yeah.
and showing kind of like your start. This was last year. This was a year ago. You're like, hey, I got some new sprouts coming in. You got some new sprouts. You're just like, holy crap, look at this. So this is like a year story. And you're also showcasing a testimonial here. Take a second here and see here. Last year, my AC1 had not wanting to drop. It's been at 8.5 to April 1, but started taking Moringa and the AC1 decreased to 7.3. The
Yeah.
glucose was at 105 and they checked the glucose and it was now down to 82. And
Yeah.
this person is happy that they found something that worked for them and keeping their A1C or AC1 in control, especially for someone that's suffering from diabetes or sugar
Yes.
sugar issues. Um, if I just keep going back to Joseph's activity, you can see he's super active in here. This has allowed him to get the care and attention that he's needed to get going, the confidence. You've got members all along the way commenting, you got this, you're doing it, that's it. Look, he's got a little bit of leaf coverage, to help keep the moisture in. This is just ground roots, like just starting from the bottom and
Hmm.
getting it going, sharing the story, like I'm getting greens finally. This was about when you were bringing them outside for the first time.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, there's
yes.
there's actually quite a bit more as we get in. And you joined back in August of 23, so about two
Right.
years ago.
Yeah, another thing I want to do is I think the capsules, selling, buying wholesale
Hmm.
amounts from you from the collective in capsule form and then, repackaging it or just
Capsules. So
saying,
buying bulk wholesale capsules, we'll send you some capsules
yeah,
because
yeah,
we have the ability to send like 10,000
yeah,
without
because
a pouch, without a label. I think
mhm,
one of the next things that you could do is lock in on your logo.
uh-huh,
I kind of gave you a quick little logo just to help you out.
yeah,
Something real quick. It took me 5 seconds to just put the words on a circle for you, but I shared it for you so that way you had it in there and it really gave you the confidence to say, "Holy crap, okay, like that's when you started to brand your channels." You're trying to figure out what hits. I tell people if you want something that hits, go with the city. Notice the title of this video is Los Angeles, California Moringa.
yeah,
That's what we have you as on the map as well, on the Moringa map. And so wherever anybody's at, I would suggest to go with the city and then put Moringa on it. I
yes.
actually started with TampaBayMoringa.com.
Oh, wow.
That's how I started. I put TampaBayMoringa.com on decals on my van, on the
Oh,
back window of my van. That's how I started in 2016, 2017. I put TampaBayMoringa.com. But then I forwarded that URL to
uh,
Numa Nursery,
ah,
right? So
yeah,
that forwarded to Numa Nursery, and eventually I changed my business name from Numa Nursery to Grow Moringa.
hmm,
And I kind of just dropped Tampa Bay Moringa because I got to the point where I was getting outside of Tampa Bay and I wanted to be known as USA Moringa,
USA,
essentially.
yeah,
So that's what we're doing now is branding local USA Moringa, trademarking, copywriting, and being a business coach for you and the others that are in the members area here. And we have
and,
actually a new offer. We had a meeting last night. I put this
uh-huh,
in the members area last night.
uh-huh,
This offer is going to provide anyone that signs up a lifetime member using their coupon code, they're going to make $497. Can you see that the right way or is it flipped on the screen?
Let me
Is it
give you
flipped? Like if you're looking at me through Zoom, is it backwards?
no, it's straight.
Oh, it's
It's
straight. Okay, because I see it backwards. But if you can see it straight, hopefully everybody on camera can see that straight. Let me go to YouTube and see if people can see this straight. Let me see if there's any comments on YouTube. Think Chair is here. Um, Think Chair is saying, "Hey, can they grow neem in LA?" Absolutely. It's very similar. Neem and moringa are very similar. They do very well together. They're companions. Christy is asking, how fast do new moringa trees grow? I have seeds starting to pop up now. You can get tubers on your trees within 45 days. And Jim is congratulating you and the show. Is going to love this offer. Hopefully, Jim is still here watching.
yeah.
This actually offer was inspired by Jim, Florida Moringa, here in the house, master marketer, expert, advertiser, has helped us for about 5 years to grow this collective behind the scenes. Essentially, I'm thinking of Jim because Jim's posting in the members area about affiliate marketing and different tiers and levels and he's always told me, he's like, give me something real. Give me a real deal that I can benefit from, that I can really get behind. Because so far, I've only been offering 10%
Hmm.
of a sale. You know that. We've paid you
Right.
out several times already through the affiliate side.
Right.
But it's been, having a lot of work, a lot of posts, a lot of like buy my stuff, here's my link in bio for
Hmm.
10%. And that's been because it's a physical product. And so, there's a lot of hands in the pot when it comes to a physical product.
Yes.
But this digital product that we've put together, this coaching program, is a whole new level of our business. And now, since it's a digital product, it's teaching, it's coaching, and everything is provided for. And we've spent the last 3 years building up this coaching program. We can
Hmm.
now offer 50% of the sale. So lifetime membership is normally $997.
Hmm.
It's a $9,979 value that we offer for $997. That's
Right.
our lifetime special. We're giving a coupon of $100 off when people use our affiliate coupons. So like
Hmm.
your coupon, somebody could go right now
Hmm.
and use Lamb10 on our shop. They'll get $100 off of um, membership, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna send Joseph $497.
Wow.
You could change Joseph's life right now. If anybody here watching wants to sign up for lifetime membership, use Lamb 10.
Hmm.
Use Lamb 10
Yeah.
for lifetime membership, and Joseph will make 50% of the sale. So I just put that in the comments on YouTube so that way people can see and appreciate. This is how we're going to create many, many businesses, success stories around the world, around the country, joining our program. And you can see that we're active every single day. You know it. We're in there every day. You're in there. I was there every day for 3 years.
Hmm.
And also with you, getting you in there for 3 years. Every night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have a meeting. And
Yes.
now I'm getting help with members as teachers we created a business pro section of the members area. I can go ahead and pull that image up.
Wow.
Essentially, this business pro section is available to lifetime members. It's available to our owner members, and it's available to our Growth OS members. You know that I've been trying to launch a CRM for members. And so sign up as a lifetime member. You'll get into the conversation and get in the room with our CRM members. You'll get in the
Yes.
room with our owner members, our lifetime members. You're in that private chat in the members area. That's kind of like that second tier that I'm building out.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like the business pro section of the members area.
Wow.
And yeah, it's all coming together now thanks to your help. And I want to see some people sign up today for lifetime membership using Lamb 10. And I'm going to send Joseph $497 for that.
Thank you.
That's huge, right?
Yes, very, very. Yeah, I mean, everything's just, taking off so quick. And, I'd like to see other people um, going through what I'm going through. It is a process, you're gonna have to put in the time, but it all comes back, it all comes back like five, tenfold. Oh,
Right.
yeah. You just have to, I mean, not only sell it, but, consume it. I have this is my breakfast every morning.
Heck yeah. Let's have some breakfast. I got some greens here. I'll eat
Yeah,
some greens with you.
yeah. Uh,
Right off the tree, man. This
cheers.
his little fresh cheers. Ding. Salud.
Salud.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, I actually just picked this off of one of our trees in the front bed. This
mm,
this particular branch was kind of going into the middle.
mhm.
This growth has been since February.
Yeah,
So March, April. So this is 2 months worth of growth bouncing back from a frost. This tree suffered severely,
yeah,
but this particular branch was going into the middle. So you know how I like to pick out anything from the middle, help
right.
that tree bush out. Mm, that's super
Yeah,
tasty right there. That's
yes.
spicy. Red stems.
Mhm,
What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take these off.
mhm,
This is how we're harvesting, right? We harvest just like this. Sometimes I harvest and I keep them right on the tree,
mhm.
just like this. And I'll pull these, I'll wash these, I'll dry them off. But what I'm going to do right here is actually I'm going to plant this stick. I'm
Right.
leaving the top on, right? Leaving
Yeah.
the top on. This DNA head is going to help this tree form roots,
Mm,
right? So keeping this head on is going to allow it to, so it looks like this right now,
right.
right? But when I stick it in the ground in a week from now, this leaf is going to start going up.
Yeah.
This top is going to get real perky and it's going to come back. And then within a month to 2 months, these roots are going to start pushing out from the wood,
Yeah.
right? So this is a main stem. We
Makes
just
sense.
pulled off the branches,
Right.
right? And so sometimes your main stem will make another main stem, another leader. So you have to
Mm,
be able to tell the difference between what's a branch
mhm.
and what's a leader. And that's usually by telling, the DNA off of this head. You've got a tip here that it
Mm,
looks like it's almost like hands that
right.
are coming out of the top, and those are stretching out. If you've got hands coming out of the top, that's a whole new leader that's going to have branches on it. And so you can organize your tree to where if you pop a top, like if I had this on the tree and I pop the top, that's going to produce multiple new heads, multiple new leaders, new stems.
Right.
Um, and I even have some trees where I'll pop top, I'll pull the branches off, and then multiple new heads are coming and forming out of this, and new branches are coming out.
Yes. Yes, that is, and yeah, that'll probably
I'll
sprout in
stick
no
this in,
time.
this will
Yeah.
sprout.
And then, like with your biostimulant powder or liquid, or even another trick is putting the aloe vera at that root point, and that'll, stimulate root growth.
Yeah, that's a natural root hormone. I'm glad you mentioned that. Is using aloe vera as a natural root hormone. What some farmers like to do in desert regions like yours, they actually take the leaf of the aloe, and I've done this, and I've stuck this branch inside the middle of the aloe leaf, and then I
Mhm.
planted it. And
Yeah.
I did this during a dry season, and I tested it out by not even watering it.
Uh-huh.
And the aloe broke down, formed roots, and that tree in a completely no irrigated zone, that stick turned into a tree.
Really? Wow.
Yes, and this is key for like a dry zone. So
Yeah.
uh, if you're in a dry area, you can
Uh-huh.
actually pull the aloe off,
Uh-huh.
stick a stick inside that, or even a little baby moringa tree with roots already.
Hmm.
Put that in the area where you don't have irrigation, and that will help water it and get it going. Aloe vera gel is like plasma. It's like blood.
Right.
It's literally like most closely related to plant blood, human blood, and even plasma in our blood. It's like the plasma white blood cells. That's essentially what the aloe vera gel is. That's why it's good. It's like collagen. It's like just really good for rooting. So even if you just dabble a little bit of the aloe and put it in a pot, that works. But also sticking that whole stick in an aloe leaf. I've done that before as
Wow.
well.
Yeah, that'll really start things up. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. And I even had the nursery owner put a little bit of aloe on the roots, just to like, because my trees were in storage for months, for maybe about 6 months, 7 months,
Yep.
and I had them in sawdust, sawdust, and to keep them dry and not get any mold or anything like that. And then so when I took it to the nursery yesterday, I took three of those trees and I had them just rub a little bit of that aloe vera on the roots just to like activate the moringa again. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Great work, man.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad this all came together. You shared the fact that you were in a store. We had already talked about getting on today a few days ago, but then the fact that you shared that you got into a store last night, I was like, I texted you this morning and I know there's a little bit of a time change. And I'm like, you were able to do this at this time? Because I try to do my shows at 12.
Right.
So thanks for hopping on here.
Yeah, it works out for me.
Awesome.
I have my daughter's here. Um, she has
Beautiful.
a doctor appointment, so that's why I had to keep her. My wife is at home too, but usually, I'm free in the mornings, so whenever you want me to hop in on these podcasts, help out, I can, I still want to share, future things that I'm going to be doing. Um, it's all about like, stuff like this too, like, printing out labels and to my little startup nursery with the QR code and,
Yes.
sticker labels and stuff like that. So you could put them on these cups, everything,
Look at that.
the work in progress.
I love that. Eden Rock Moringa Nursery.
Eden Rock, because we're in a suburb of LA called Eagle Rock, and my daughter's name's Eden. So I combined both her name and Eagle Rock to make it Eden Rock.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Love the name. Very creative. It's perfect. You're well on your way now. Uh, One of the big takeaways that people always ask is, how do I start? And we would suggest start by having a plant nursery.
Yeah.
I say that a lot, is just get started by having some trees in your hands. It's going to help circumnavigate a lot of the rules and regulations to
Yeah.
get a business license going and to have some trees in your hand. From that, you can then get some dried loose leaf or even sell fresh greens. We just got some comments in our text messages here. Somebody was asking, hey, where can I get fresh greens? And so now we're starting to get fresh greens, and we could potentially do the U pick, where people can come by and buy 10, a pound for $10.
Hmm.
Um, so hopefully you'll get there soon where you can have people come by and grab some things for you. Where can people find you before we go?
People could find me on let me go real quick right here to my Instagram and
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat.
yeah, let me just put it in the chat real quick. Let's see right here. Okay. Let me just get the
Yeah,
link and then
find Joseph.
yeah, and I am changing, my name on Instagram. I did Moringa Destiny now. I'm calling it Moringa Plants Los Angeles.
Right.
So they know that, I'm in Los Angeles and I have Moringa plants and I have a startup nursery. So let me get you the link right here. I'm gonna copy the link and then I'm gonna share it on my messenger here.
Great.
And
I'm just
then
sharing some links to our YouTube as well to check you out.
yeah, let me share the link in the where's a good place where I could
You
share
can
the
put it
link?
in the Zoom and then I'll copy it and I'll put it on the YouTube.
You put it on the YouTube? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, give me 1 second here.
no problem. I'll just answer these
Okay.
questions real quick.
Okay.
Um,
Right on. Okay.
Somebody's saying they're growing in 7B. Yeah, 7B. Grow moringa anywhere in the summer as an annual. If it gets cold, it dies back. Just plant another 10,000 seeds in the spring. Just as some, just like farmers do, like when people grow corn and people grow tomatoes and people grow lettuce, guess what? They start over every year. Just think about this in that way. I know it's kind of like testing people's minds because they're like, this is a tree. I only need to plant it one time just because it has the word tree. But if it had the word lettuce, if it had the word tomato, if it had the word onion, if it had the word carrot, you guys would kind of get like, oh, like this is an annual thing. It's not necessarily a perennial in many places around the world. So just be prepared to plant 10,000 seeds every year. Plant 1,000 seeds in a raised bed every year to be able to have your own supply. I want to get people in that mode of just, hey, it's warm out, it's springtime, it's summertime, let's get our moringa going. And then not to worry too much about hauling your trees inside or it's going to die. Just know that they don't like the cold very well and have a great time enjoying your trees over summer. Harvest them as much as you can over summer. Get as many greens as you can. Get as many trees going in the summer. Sell them. Get tubers and dry those tubers out and make horseradish powder. Making spice out of the powder.
Yep.
And just start back over in the spring and just spend your winter time growing other things that like to grow in the super cold weather. And then just grow moringa in the summer when they like it really hot.
Yes, definitely. I'm gonna share it on the on my link on the TikTok as well. I just shared it on the Zoom
Oh, good.
chat, and so that's
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Moringa Plants Los Angeles.
Awesome.
And
Okay, I'm copying this here. I'm gonna put it into the YouTube here so everybody has it. Go visit Joseph at what is it? Moringa Los Angeles.
Moringa Plants Los Angeles,
Moringa
and
Plants Los Angeles. Okay.
yeah,
Moringa Plants Los Angeles. Follow Joseph on Instagram. And this show is for any member that comes in interested in joining us on the show on Thursdays. We'll do a feature of our members on Thursdays. And you can always find Joseph inside the members area too. So come in the members area.
and I'll be having a class tomorrow. I'll be going over if I got any sprouts yet from my peat pellets or my cups here. I'll be going over, of course, the adventure I had at the nursery, the local nursery here, uh, and any other, questions that members may have, and I could help them out.
Awesome. Thanks, Joseph, for being a resource and a helpful hand. I look forward to seeing you in the members area and for meeting up again soon on one of our meetups here.
Definitely looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming in. We'll see you again on Tuesday. We'll be back at 12 p.m. Eastern time for our business show. And you can always catch us inside the members area. 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have live coaching classes and we have the courses. I'm actually building the certification courses now in the members area so people can learn how to fulfill orders. I'm ordering books for all lifetime members. Lifetime member books are going out. And we're also getting our t-shirts. I just ordered my official members t-shirt yesterday. It should be here in a couple of days. We're gonna make some tweaks. Some members last night were like, they kind of were given some suggestions and colors and styles. And so we're getting our lifetime member t-shirts organized and solidified. And we're gonna start sending out lifetime t-shirts soon. So
And
it's gonna be
I'm
fun.
definitely gonna be ordering some wholesale very soon.
You got it.
Possibly some capsules, possibly even maybe even some trees.
I
So
got you. I got you. I just finished filming 50,000 sprouts in the field.
uh-huh.
Yesterday, I just pretty much finished sharing that we've got 10,000 sprouts in the raised beds.
Yeah.
I've got 3,000 sprouts in the greenhouse, and I've got 10,000 sprouts coming in the pots in the back. So I've got, what is that? 50, 60, 73,000
Wow.
sprouting just on like a half acre.
Wow.
People are mind blown, but they're like, what are you gonna do with that? I'm gonna make, I'm gonna make a couple $100,000 from it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna make a business out of it. I'm gonna show people and be an example of what you want to do to be able to go to vacation, go on vacation and provide for your family is I'm going to utilize the powerful ability that moringa has to grow super fast. It has lots of zeatin, so it's also acting as a fertilizer. I'm gonna make pellets out of those trees and sell that as animal feed. So I've got a whole lineup of things I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna feed the community. I'm gonna feed the world.
Definitely, definitely.
Look, you already had your breakfast. You already pulled those leaves off. And I'm glad
Yeah.
you're doing that because you're showing people that if you pull the lowers,
Oh yeah.
you got them before they yellowed.
Yeah, and then also I cut the middle and then I got two stems now. It
Right.
was
You pop
before
the
it was just
top.
one. And
That's
I
good.
learned that from you, Kendrick. I learned that trick from you.
Awesome. Look at that. Now
Abundance.
he's got a short tree.
Yeah,
He cut it right after the first leaf came out.
right.
He popped the top. Now it's split. He's got two heads.
Yeah,
Now in say like a week or two, that's going to stretch. He could pop those two tops,
yeah,
and that could make a short bushy tree with 4 to 8 heads on it.
yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
When I learned that, that blew my mind. I learned that I started planting seeds for the first time in like 2013, 2014 was when I first planted my first seed.
Uh,
And I started working here at this plant nursery. And the owners of this plant nursery said, "Hey, can you go out and pop all the tops? We want them to bush out. We want them to shorten up and bush out. So can you just take the cutters and pop all the tops?" I was like, "What?" And they said, "Yeah, every time you pop the top, it gets more bushy." And I'm like, "You mean you get to double your money by popping the top? You get two?" Yeah. Yeah, because you can only sell a little tree or a little bush and get $5 or $10 off of it if it looks good. But if you have one tall, lanky thing and it's fallen over, you're not going to get anything for it. But if you cut it short and you have something short and bushy with a lot of greens on it, they're
yes,
like, "Yeah, how do you think we got all these short and bushy like that?" I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" It literally was like an overload. I just started looking around. Like I remember that moment where I realized I could pop tops and double my money. This is a business.
yes, yes,
Unbelievable.
yes. I look forward, hopefully, if anybody wants to become a member, I will be having a class on Friday, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. East Coast time. And I look forward to seeing you there. And hopefully you become a lifetime member and just join the movement. This is a community. It's a great community. I'm learning so much, so much. I kid you not. And great people here. Great
Thank you.
people. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Joseph. Well, thanks a lot for checking in, and we'll be back, and we'll see you guys real soon. All
Peace.
right.
Keep growing Moringa.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Ring of love from all the way out in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Thanks, y'all. All right.